She used one word, one single word, and the internet caught fire.
Shedeur returned to Colorado University to graduate and receive his degree in sociology with a 3.9 GPA. That's what should have been reported. But look what Mary Kay Cabot says. Shedeur Sanders returns to Colorado to receive his diploma. Diploma? That's high school. She doesn't mention anything about college or his GPA. And she uses a football picture.
Including Cleveland.com, Shedeur Sanders returns to Colorado to receive his diploma, wrote Brown's reporter Mary Kay Cabot. Her language received instant criticism, and this is what some people had to say. He didn't get a diploma. He earned his degree. Show some respect. Okay, you know it's a college degree. Come on now. You're just trying to disrespect the kid. But what you're really looking for is the drama you know this will bring. Be better, do better. Cleveland deserves better. So Mary Kay Cabot being called to the carpet.
Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders, NFL quarterback, a young man who carried the weight of a dynasty on his back since the day he could throw a football. He just walked across that stage at Colorado, cap, gown, 3.9 GPA, and earned his college degree in sociology. And a national sports reporter decided to celebrate that moment by calling it a diploma. If that word choice doesn't bother you yet, it will. Stay with me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon right now, because the story we're about to break down goes way deeper than one word. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Let's get into it.
With his fellow graduates, okay? And here it says, Sanders walked at Colorado's graduation ceremony in Boulder over the weekend. He earned his degree in sociology with a 3.9 GPA. Here it says the quarterback commemorated the moment with the post recreating an iconic photo of his father, Deion. He spoke on the importance of completing his coursework, hinting at his potential pursuit of a master's. He said, I got to stack up my real life chips. I might think about getting my master's, he said in a social media post. It's something I really feel.
Picture Boulder, Colorado, a weekend in May. Thousands of graduates, families crying in the stands, music playing, names being called. And then Shedeur Sanders steps forward, not as a quarterback, not as Deion's son, just as a student who put in the work. Sociology degree, 3.9 GPA. Let that sit for a second. This is a kid who was under a national microscope every single week of his college career, carrying the pressure of transferring to Colorado with his dad, carrying the hype, carrying the legacy of one of the greatest to ever play the game. And through all of that, he was still in the classroom, studying, grinding, doing what most people assumed he didn't even care about. He even recreated an iconic graduation photo of his father, Deion. Same cap, same gown, same bloodline, different journey. And then, in a social media post after the ceremony, Shedeur said something that stopped a lot of people cold. I got to stack up my real-life chips. I might think about getting my master's. A master's degree, after the NFL draft, while preparing for a professional football career. Not for the clout, for the learning. He said he's doing it for the activity of learning. Not because you need a degree to be successful, but because knowledge is the one thing nobody can take from you on or off the field. This should have been a moment of pure celebration, national headlines, proud reactions, a feel-good story in the middle of an NFL offseason full of noise. It was, until Cleveland.com published their story. Cleveland Browns beat reporter Mary Kay Cabot published a story about Shedeur's graduation. The headline read, Shedeur Sanders returns to Colorado to receive his diploma. Diploma, not degree. Diploma.
Receive instant criticism, and this is what some people had to say. He didn't get a diploma. He earned his degree. Show some respect. okay? You know it's a college degree. Come on now. You're just trying to disrespect the kid. But what you're really looking for is the drama you know this will bring. Be better, do better. Cleveland deserves better. So Mary Kay Cabot being called to the carpet for disrespecting Shedeur Sanders graduating. I think a lot of the stuff she's done has been nasty. I mean, she wanted the quarterback competition to end.
Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, what's the big deal? Diploma, degree, aren't they the same thing? No, they are not. And in the context of everything that happened between this reporter and this quarterback, people were not having it. A degree is an academic credential. It is the accomplishment. It is what you earn after years of coursework, exams, and intellectual growth. A diploma is the physical piece of paper, the prop. Saying someone received their diploma instead of earned their degree is subtle, but subtlety in the wrong hands is a weapon. And the internet noticed immediately. He didn't get a diploma, he earned his degree. Show some respect. You're just trying to disrespect the kid. Be better, do better, Cleveland deserves better. But here's the twist that makes this even heavier. This wasn't the first time, not even close. Shedeur Sanders hadn't even put pads on yet, hadn't taken a real NFL snap, hadn't thrown to his receivers in live drills, and this same reporter was already calling for the quarterback competition to be settled. Day 2 of practice, no veterans on the field, no contact, no real evaluation, and she wanted a verdict. That's not journalism, that's a mission. And people started to see the pattern. When you add up the timeline, the stories, the framing, the word choices, it starts to paint a picture of someone who has decided before a single regular season game is played what Shedeur Sanders is and what he isn't. Here's what I need you to understand about Shedeur Sanders. He was born into noise. Deion Sanders is not just an NFL Hall of Famer, he is a cultural icon, a lightning rod, a man who has never done anything quietly. And Shedeur grew up in the center of that storm. He didn't ask for the spotlight, he just was in it. And instead of running from the weight, he built something under it.
Better. So Mary Kay Cabot being called to the carpet for disrespecting Shedeur Sanders graduating. I think a lot of the stuff she's done has been nasty. I mean, she wanted the quarterback competition to end on day 2 of practice with none of the rookies that have been drafted. None of the veterans are there. No pads, nothing. I mean, it's been absolutely disgusting the way she's been moving about Shedeur Sanders. Now, there could be even more roster moves happening with the Cleveland Browns here very, very shortly.
At Colorado, he put up numbers that turned heads across the country. He transferred into a program that hadn't won in years, played with his father as head coach, handled the media circus every single week, and still found time to finish his degree. 3.9 GPA in sociology, while being one of the most talked about college quarterbacks in America. You want to talk about mental strength? That's it right there. And when the draft came, there was drama. Projections said top 5. Then teams started going quiet. Shedeur dropped further than almost anyone expected. It was a public moment of humiliation that the whole country watched live on television. You know what he did? He landed with the Cleveland Browns. He showed up, he got to work. He didn't complain, he competed. That's the thing about people who try to shrink you with their words. They don't understand that some people have already been through fire. A headline can't touch what draft night already tried to do. And somewhere in Boulder on that graduation stage, Shedeur Sanders proved something that has nothing to do with touchdowns or completion percentages. He proved he finishes what he starts. And then he looked at the camera and talked about a master's degree. Not to impress anyone, because he genuinely believes in the process of becoming more. And that, right there, is what separates him from the noise. Doubters get headlines. Champions get degrees. Mary Kay Cabot can keep digging. She keeps picking up that shovel, and every time she does, Shedeur Sanders just keeps stacking up more chips. A degree, a potential master's, an NFL career just beginning. Some reporters want to define who this young man is before he even gets the chance to show them, but you can't write someone's story while they're still writing it themselves. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing for a starting spot in Cleveland, he's playing for everyone who was ever underestimated, everyone who was told their moment wasn't a degree, it was just a diploma, everyone whose achievement got shrunk by someone with a platform and an agenda. And if he gets his master's, if he keeps showing up, if he outplays every single doubt that's been thrown at him since the moment his last name became a headline, then the story writes itself. And no reporter gets to take credit for that chapter. So here's what I want to know from you. Drop it in the comments right now. Do you think the way media covers Shedeur Sanders is about football, or is it about something else entirely? And do you believe he proves every single one of them wrong this season? Let's talk about it. I read every comment. See you in the next one. Peace.